Okay, I'm Dave LoPresti. I'm here at LoPresti Aviation's facility in Sebastian, Florida, and we're getting ready to do a complete makeover on this Turbo Saratoga. We're going to do a new cowling without the shark mouth. It'll be a much more modern appearance. We're going to add intercoolers, which will save a lot of fuel. That's what we're all about right now, saving fuel. With the new intercoolers, you'll be able to lean the engine back, save a few gallons per hour, and still keep the engine cool. And we're also going to add the speed spats, splitters, and gap seals. That'll add about 10 more knots to this airplane, all on their own. It's our best chunk of speed that you can get, the best bang for your buck. We're even going to install our new zip tips, our HID boom beam lights, bunch of little bits and pieces on the airplane. Now I'm going to take you through this step by step as we go through it, so you can see exactly what it takes to do this kind of work on your airplane. When we're all done, the plane's going to head off to the paint shop, and it'll come back. It's going to look like a brand new 2011 airplane. So stay with us. Okay, this is the stock wingtip from Piper. It's a nice shape, except there are a few things we didn't like about it. We didn't like the nav and strobe being outside, so we'll move it in underneath a big clear lens on our wingtip. We also add a headlight so you can show more light, and that's either going to be a halogen light or the new boom beam HID light. Now the shape that we do is also very different. The Piper tip starts curving back inboard, so you give up trailing edge span. We maintain that max span all the way to the trailing edge. We regain about 4 inches of trailing edge span per side, so the plane will climb like you have 8 more inches of wingspan. You climb a little better, you fly a little faster, and it looks a whole lot nicer. Now structurally, we're also different. We are a fiberglass laminate with interlocking plies, very stiff, very stout. Stout enough that we don't need this little metal coping piece. We get rid of that, that goes away. And the tip installation is really pretty straightforward. You match the tip up to the airplane, match drill the holes. There's a single wire that we run into the panel where we replace your existing landing light rocker switch for a split rocker switch, so you can have both the nose light and the tip lights all in the same hole. It makes for a real sweet installation. Underneath the wing. Now, like I was saying before, this is the area where you get your most bang for the buck as far as speed mod. We have these exposed flap hinges. They're really kind of nasty. We have the speed spat that's going to go back in behind the main gear. We have the exposed hub. Lots of little bits and pieces we're going to do here. Hub cap will be one of the first pieces. It screws on, covers that cap, gives you some good dust protection for the bearing. What's really cool is it has a door so you can get in there to put air in the tire. Real simple, really nice. Now, the main gear retracts, but doesn't go all the way up. When it retracts up in the wing, it goes up at an angle. The trailing edge sticks out about that far, and like a boulder in a stream, airflow gets loose at the trailing edge. Stays nicely attached to the back side of the tire where it gets turbulent. We're going to put a fairing back behind there, so the air can hop from the tire back to the fairing and stay nicely attached. That gets you a nice little bump in speed. Now these exposed flap hinges, we don't like those either. They screw up the flow. You got this bolt here, you've got this forward-facing C channel, very dirty aerodynamically. We're going to cover that with a 2-piece fairing and really reduce the drag there. The last piece is the flap gap seal that covers the gap between the flap and the wing. Now ours is again a little bit different than everybody else's. Most other gap seals are a piece of aluminum that is just sheared and riveted back in through these same rivets. Pretty dangerous to put on because you're drilling holes into the spar. We didn't like any of that. We want to a composite section that's fatigue free, bonds up into the wing skin, has a much better rub strip for the Teflon, and it seals that gap. Now that also gets you some speed, plus it gets you better pitch authority. It moves the center of pressure so that when your mains touch down during landing, you can still hold that nose wheel off. That's pretty important on most Pipers, especially the larger engine 300 horsepower Pipers with that heavy nose. Having that extra pitch authority means your landings will be much more controlled. And we're going to see how all that goes together here in a few minutes. The guys are going to come out and start measuring and fitting up, and we'll be right there with them.